Kyle, welcome back. It's been a while since we spoke. How was the break? You enjoyed your time off?
Yeah, absolutely. Plenty to get done and get organised for the start of pre-season, but good break and glad to be back.
Yeah, you've been back in for a couple of weeks now. How's things been going? How's things progressing?
Yeah, really good. The lads, are training really hard and putting a lot of work in really, and it's nice to start building those relationships with the new guys and obviously the guys from last season as well. It's great to see them all and be back involved in pre-season. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Before we touch on some of the guys that have come in and some of the guys that have stuck around, we're just going to sort of look back on the back end of 2025 a little bit. Obviously, your first year as head coach, you made the semi-finals, playoffs, just falling short to the eventual grand finalists. I mean, when you look back at that year, you've got to be pleased with how things went, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Really pleased with the start and the foundation we built last season, and also the performance of the group was probably one of the most pleasing factors. So really pleased. Something that we reviewed and we can always get better at as a group of staff, and hopefully we can do that this year and keep performing.
When you look back at your first year at the Shea, what's one thing that you take away? What's the biggest lesson that you've learned during your first year as a head coach?
If I'm honest, there's so many, Rick. If I'm honest, many lessons, about being a head coach. Many lessons around, the performance of the team, where we can do better as a group. But overall, it was a really enjoyable year, and like I said, we put our heads together. We've planned and we've researched last season, and hopefully we can do a better job this year and keep improving session by session.
We were written off at the start of the year by many of the outsiders. Obviously, you're a confident person, a confident coach. You always believed in what this group could do, but maybe we took some teams by surprise a little bit. The bigger spenders didn't expect us to do. Are you expecting those teams to raise their game this year? Maybe we're not coming in as the underdog as we once were. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so. I think you might be right, but that's their problem, innit? If you disrespect a team, that's not something that we did last year. At any stage when we was performing, prior to games, we respected everybody. So we'll let people concentrate on themselves, and that's what we'll do. And as long as we work hard, we'll be in a good spot. And
since the last time I spoke as well, there's been a league restructure. Obviously, League One has amalgamated into the Championship. But what are your thoughts on that? Rejigging of the leagues and things after your first year of the Championship?
Yeah, to be honest, it's unusual, isn't it? And it's something that even it could be my first year as a coach last season, but I'd say it's unusual for everybody, innit? But it's not something I'm really that interested in, if I'm honest. I think where we're at as a group is we turn up and we try and prepare and put hard work in and take each game as it comes. So it's not going to be any different for us.
You've got 7 new faces through the door so far. We'll just touch on some of those guys and give us a bit of your thoughts on these players. We've seen Bailey Lou come over from the Bradford Bulls. How's he been settling in?
Yeah, great. Yeah. Bailey's he's settled in really well, and he's a really serious character and prepares himself well and wants to do well. So really glad to have him, and we're looking forward to working with him.
I think in a similar position, maybe Darius Carter's come over from the Huddersfield Giants. Where do you see his strengths? What position do you feel like he can be adding to this team?
Yeah, Darius is obviously a young lad who's he can fit into multiple positions really, which is a strength at that age. I think his big asset is his carries. He's a tough kid. Still got plenty to learn, and we're willing to help him do that. But I'm looking forward to what he can bring and helping him progress. Really, I think he can add a lot to what we're doing.
There are some youngsters that have come in with quite a lot of versatility. Was that something that you were sort of taking into account when you were looking to recruit this year, to sort of bring the age of the squad down and so you can maybe put your stamp on younger lads rather than seasoned pros?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, but really and truly, Ricky, it's about quality, isn't it? And all the lads who have come in, they might have some, they might be young in age, but they've had some experiences. Some of them have been written off, which we like. We're looking at quality and who can add to the group, and I said that day one to the group, you're not here to be a part, you're here to add to what these lads have already put in, and our lads put a lot in last year, so whoever comes in is expected to take us up another level, and these guys have, so looking forward to it.
Speaking of a player with the qualities that the Fax fans have seen on the field already, we've made Alfie Johnson a permanent Panther. You must be pleased with that move.
Yeah, over the moon. Alfie's not only is he up there in terms of his quality, I think the thing I love about Alfie is he's the right type of bloke and the right type of character who's he's come here and he wants to go even further. You know, he wants to evolve his own game. The lads love him, and like I say, hopefully we can get even more out of him this year, and we will do.
Adding to the pack, we've got Dan Okoro coming over. He looks a big unit. Where does his strengths lie?
Yeah. Dan's had some experience in not only in the Championship, but in Super League as well. So Dan's had a few experiences there, and obviously his ball carrying's a great asset of his. And someone like Dan, just individual development and a bit of time into him, and I think that might be the key to even unlocking him even more. Good attitude, training hard, and I'm expecting him to deliver this year, and he will do. I can tell that by the way he's turned up to pre-season.
Another player with Super League experience come over on loan from Wakefield Trinity is young Miles Lawford.
Yeah.
His dad Dean played here many years ago, so there's a bit of a connection there. A young halfback in this league, I mean, another one for developing. Obviously you played halfback yourself, you'll be able to put your stamp and he'll be able to get some game time in this Panthers side, do you feel?
Absolutely, that's what he's here for, to bring his qualities. You know, he's done well over the years. You know, he's only a young lad, but he has done well. You know, even in his time at Bradford coming through, you know, he had an injury or so, and he's bounced back from that quite well as well. And he's somebody I'm really excited to work with actually. Tough, and that's what you need as an halfback. You need that mentality to be tough, to want to get the team around the park and improve, and that's all them qualities he's got. So we'll put the time into him that he deserves, and we'll help him.
And a lad coming over from your hometown of Oldham, Ben Forster.
Yeah.
Obviously come over from the Roughheads. What you expected him to bring? Obviously the fans will know him.
Yeah.
He's been with Panthers before. What you expected him to bring?
Yeah, a bit of a point to prove really for Ben really. And I don't mean that for other people. I just mean maybe for him. He's got all the qualities of a good player, and I made sure that I've done my research, and people have given him, you know, the raps that he deserves. He's a good player, and I think he just needs a bit of time. You know, he needs some game time. He needs that exposure on the field. You know, back to back. And listen, we'll give him that. I'm expecting him to have a good year actually, Ben, and he's quietly going about his business at the moment, and he's looking well.
So from the pack to a bit of flair in the backs,
Yeah.
Tanguy Zenon
Yeah.
has come over, France international. I mean, he's an exciting player, one that can get people out of the seats.
Yeah, absolutely. A good character. Really a nice player, but I think he's underpinned Tanguy with he's got an edge to him that you need. Any back, especially, you know, in the spine, you need to have that edge. You need to have that little bit of toughness about you, and he's got quite a lot of it. And excited to have him on board, and I think he'll have a great year.
Is it too early to say where you see his best position?
I think he can play multiple positions actually, and I think he showed that at Catalan. He showed that he can play as a fullback, which was his main position, and then also he can play in the spine, and he even played some games at 9 at Catalan. But listen, let him get himself, you know, into the right position that he needs to be. And yeah, no doubt wherever he plays is going to be awesome. So looking forward to it.
And finally, the one that we managed to tie down, which got all the fans talking, David Nofaluma signed a deal to stay with the Panthers. Is that the icing, the cherry on top of the cake of all these new players coming and staying?
Absolutely. Like I said, we're first and foremost, the guys who put the work in and the guys who built the foundation for us last year, we don't overlook that, regardless who comes in. You know, these guys have put the work in from November last year. And David obviously come and added to that during the season, and look, he's added to the group, David, on and off the field, and leadership in a different way. You know, goes about his business. Really good end to the season last year, and like I said, I think there's more to come from David actually, and he does. So yeah, I expect him to have a big year. Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
So we've just one friendly against Rochdale announced down here at the Shea on the 4th of January. Do you feel that's ample preparation time with this? The season seems to start earlier every year, end later every year. Do you feel you've got ample preparation time for that round 1 game on the 18th?
Yeah, of course we have. No different to last year in terms of how many friendlies we had. We played Keighley and then we were straight into it. So there's no drama there. We'll be ready. The lads are training unbelievably hard, and and we'll get the most out of what we need in training, and then we'll have a run out on the 4th, and then we're ready to go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And obviously a couple of weeks after that, drawn at home in the Betfred Challenge Cup round 2 against either Telford Raiders or London Chargers. I'm not going to ask you who you prefer to play, but I mean at this point of the year, it's good to have a home draw, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. You know, it's nice to be at home against whoever we get drawn against, and yeah, we'll take it every game as it comes, because you know them things are banana skins, and every game is so. So yeah, we look forward to that cup tie, but ultimately there's a lot to do beforehand, isn't there? So yeah, we'll get our work done and we'll be ready.
And then finally, then looking into this season, without nailing you down to any specific, you know, goals or anything, what are your aspirations for 2026? Is it to go one better than last year? Is it to keep building on and off the field? Where do you want to take this side in 2026?
I think we've got to get better, haven't we? We've got to get better. Like I said, I've given the lads a rap there, but we all know there's plenty to work on. Let's keep getting better every day, every training session, individually and collectively, and we'll see where that takes us. And I'm pretty sure we'll be in a good spot if we can do that.
Carl, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, mate.